Good morning, all you lovely people. I am going to do a quick roll through of our stock market indexes, and crypto leaders, and then some altcoins today that I think are worth mentioning, including Jasmy, Sheba, and Basic Attention Token, which I previously put out trade alerts on Saturday, I believe. We're going to talk about whether those target downs or entry prices are still valid and how valid they would be if they are. That's coming up. All right. First, let's start out by talking about the news yesterday. FOMC did meet, did get in the front of the microphone, and did look to massage the psychological anxieties that were embedded into market sentiment. And how do we know that? Because everything went as I expected it would. Dollar's still strong, VIX went down, indexes went up. All right, so let's take a look at that. Apparently the market liked what the Fed said, and so we had the S&P spiking, came up above this resistance level again, right? Now, once again, for the bulls to convince me that they're going to continue to carry us upward, they need to open and close above this resistance line. So far, the futures look like they're pointing above that, but will they continue to carry us the remainder of the day and close out above that? That's what we're watching today, all right? My suspicion is that we gap up and then go down. And I'll talk a little bit about why I believe that might be the case. I think what we're seeing here is the initial spike in the indexes is a result of a confirmation that the Fed has used very decently strong action plan to alleviate inflation concerns. They're going to raise the interest rate 3 times over the next 2 years. First one won't be until January 2022, however. The second one is they're going to stop buying up bonds. And then they talked a little bit about, they just referenced our debt issue. All right. And that was enough of a therapy session that the market reacted nicely to that. However, I do think, and let's just jump over, I haven't looked at this yet. Let's just jump over to the dollar. All right. So dollar is coming down. I think what's happening here is we got till 2022 for inflation to continue to be priced into this market. And what happens when inflated prices are used as a variable? It inflates prices, right? So that's exactly what we should see on the indexes. And that is what we are seeing. That is why we have these hammer pattern candles on the indexes. Do we have that on the NASDAQ? Yes. Everything is looking, and Dow came up very strong. Once again, we have to continue to close above this resistance level, and I have to see these bulls continue to carry us. Now, Dow's a little bit differently because we have to really get above this for us to be bullish in the Dow again. All right, and that could happen. But again, that's something that we will continue to watch. NASDAQ, we had a body high up here, but really I'm looking, with the NASDAQ, I'm looking to close above here, open a new candle, and close above this resistance line. And then I know these bulls are in full swing again. Same with the S&P, as I've already mentioned. All right. So essentially, And what did our VIX do? Just as I expected. Now, when I put out my video a couple days ago, actually a day ago, was it yesterday? Our VIX was up here, and I said once the Fed comes out and does their act in front of the microphone, and we have, as a collective, we have that therapy session. Yes, I am dripping with cynicism, as always, when I'm talking about the Fed. Sorry about that, guys. Those crazy few that listen to me and believe in the Fed. I'm sorry. Uh, Anyways, the Fed did their thing and alleviated fears and concerns, and the VIX did actually even drop below the 200-day. All right, so all is well in the market again. And this sentiment should continue to play out in the indexes and also spill over into the crypto space. All right, so it's inflation is something that is going to be factored into our prices as a variable, and that inflation will inflate as well cryptocurrency, since institutions are in this space. All right, especially Bitcoin. And so Bitcoin made a bit of a move yesterday, not very impressive. Ethereum really jumped hard once we hit this neckline here. We could not confirm any move below that. So we hit neutral territory. We're on the edge of our seats here. And then boom, 3 candles, strong. Bulls came in strong. And let's take a look at Bitcoin dominance. All right. And that makes sense because I said we're going to come up to this 42%. And this whole area right here, this box that I have, that's kind of a target area where I expect we'll try again, maybe not succeed, try again, maybe not succeed. These waves will get smaller and smaller until we just kind of trail the underside of this resistance, and kind of like a jackhammer, we hit it enough times where it finally breaks, and then boom, dominance goes up. So at some point in the future, I do expect Bitcoin to really explode. But again, that's I would say that's months, maybe weeks. It could be weeks, end of January, beginning of February. Um, this is what the charts are telling me. Remember, I said you can read the headlines often before they happen. So there'll be some kind of big news. New ETF has been admitted by or allowed by the SEC, something like that, and that'll kind of propel us forward. All right, so today I really want to roll through the altcoin space because we haven't done that in a while. And I've got a blue list here, which is just basically some of my more interesting and promising cryptos that I see. There's obviously hundreds, but these are just the ones that I picked out, the ones that I've done analysis on. So let's start with a DOT, Polkadot. All right, so like I have drawn here, we have this channel going down. And as I've repeated in the past, this looks to be our baseline area of support. And I could see us going down a little bit further. Remember, on all of our altcoin charts, we had a little bit of room to drop if the market manipulators could get us to trigger those stops and go down a little bit further. I have now revised my sentiment, and I just don't see us at this point going down any further on many of these altcoins. All right. And so somebody asked me about Jasmy, which we'll get to in a few minutes, and also Sheba and BAT, because those are the ones I put out the alerts on. They asked if those target downs or those re-entry prices are still valid. All right. And I will get to that in a second. But with all of these, yeah, we have the possibility we could go down just a little bit further. But I personally, and my Substack subscribers know this, don't want to risk And why do I say risk? Don't want to risk waiting for that target re-entry to be met. I say risk because I believe that the next move in the altcoin space is going to be so massive, so big, so fast. It's going to really represent a massive bull cycle in the altcoin space. I don't want to miss out for a few pennies. No way. I want to be in this market and ready to go, ready to explode, because when it happens, it's going to be big. And you guys know I'm not a hype guy. I just tell you what I see on the charts, be it good or bad. And when I got bearish, I was honest with you. We had a line in the sand on Bitcoin. Bring you back to that chart real quick. And I said all along, if we're up here, I am bullish. If we're down here, I start to become bearish. If we're below this purple line, I am uber bear at that point. But we have not gone there, and I don't believe we will go there. This is a ton of support here. I've said all along it would take something cataclysmic for us to get below these 200-day 5 lines of support. I mean, absolutely cataclysmic. And now that the Fed has spoken, I don't think we'll have that. All right. So I am starting to turn bullish again, even though we're below this line. We have to break out and above this resistance here, this resistance trend line. So once we're up here, I expect us to go test our resistance again, test it again, maybe 3 times before we break above it. Maybe we don't break above it. Maybe it's just a slow ascension. I don't know, but what I want to see is to break us for Bitcoin to break above this downward red trend line, and so soon that will happen. Maybe this weekend. It remains to be seen. But all that to say that at this point, I am starting to turn bullish again, and I'm always trying to be honest with you and just reading these charts, what I see on the charts. DOT is no different. I see that we have actually touched my bottom line baseline support. And in my opinion, this is where you start to enter the altcoin space if you're not already in. And again, my Substack subscribers know what amount of my trading portfolio is in the crypto space and how it's diversified, what my allocation looks like, how much I'm in cash, if I'm in cash, etc., etc. And honestly, for $50, you guys can peek behind the curtain. That's not a bad deal. If you're just curious of what I'm trading um, for this month in all the past archives and history, for $50, you can peek behind the curtain and just see. And if you want to mimic me, you can do that. Enter all the positions I'm in. Solana is strong. We found, remember, I was not sure, as with all of these, I was not sure if we had enough bear energy to take us down to the possible bottommost, in my opinion, support level. Doesn't look like the bears can do that because now we've broken our previous high here on this little uptrend, and we look to be moving back into this channel. Solana is looking very strong. I might, if I was getting into this trade, I would wait for us to hit our heads on that, come back down a little bit, and buy that drawback. All right, that's the way I would do it. Doji, on news that Elon Musk is going to accept Doji in some of his merchant stores, popped big a couple days ago. Now, I have also a Robinhood. I have many exchanges that I trade on. I have a Robinhood account that I just play around with. Okay, so with my Robinhood account, I have $1,000 in there, and my goal is just to turn that $1,000. Well, I don't even know if I'll say it because I'll sound so crazy, but I think I can do this. I want to turn the $1,000 into a lot of thousands. All right, let's just say it that way. So basically what I do, because it's free trades, is I just jump back and forth between the various cryptos that are offered on Robinhood. Now there's only 7 of them, but a lot of times I'll play around with Doji. When it pops, I sell it and then I buy something else. In this case, I sold Doji at the top here. Again, a little bit of luck, but whenever you see those massive pumps, take advantage of them. And went into cash, and then I saw Litecoin, and I entered Litecoin. We'll get to that in just a second. Let's keep moving. Hex, told you all about 4 or 5 days ago. Hey, this is a great price. Enter here if you want to trade it. And every time I say, to trade Hex, I get all the diehards that come in the comments section below and they say, oh, Hex is not meant to be traded. You got to stake this. And these are all the guys that are staking for 5 to 10 years. Dude, all the more power to you. If you want to stake this shit, that's fine. I believe personally, and I know from experience, that I can do better trading this. So if you can find an exchange where it's traded, and there are some out there, again, not sure how liquid they are because I am not on any of those exchanges, but if you can trade it, in my opinion, you know how to trade, that's the way to do it. You'll do much better than staking. Um, That's not to say I discourage you from staking. In fact, personally, I hold a long-term position in one of these cryptos in which I stake. I don't trade that at all. I just stake it and leave it. So if you're not comfortable with your trading skills, don't trade this. But if you are, and you can draw these levels out and you can trend it and see where it's going, dude, you'll do much better, especially on something like this. So my entry here on this one was about 13 cents. All right, we're already to 22 cents. Um, that's massive gains. You've almost doubled already. And I still have a target up here of 55 to 60 cents. I believe that's where we're going on Hex. Let's continue moving on because I only have so much time. Wrapped Luna, Substack subscribers know I bought right here. Beautiful entry, beautiful trade, and we just keep going. That's the benefit. I hate to keep plugging because I don't care whether you guys want to follow me or not. Doesn't matter. But for $50, you could have already made your money here if you just followed my trades. As soon as I entered Wrapped Luna, it started to pop. And I mean, even if you would have entered $100 here, you could have almost paid for the monthly. All right, it's I think it's valuable, but that's up to you. It depends on how comfortable you are with your trading skills. I'm not going to sit here and toot my own horn all the time. I think all you have to do, TradingView does not delete anything. All you have to do is view my history. And if you think it's worthwhile to subscribe, then do that. And if not, I'm not going to sit here and waste your time convincing you. Storage, told you we were coming down to this 200-day potentially. We did. There's a lot of support down here. I don't think we're going to drop again. We're already fighting with our previous high. A lot of volume here. I think that's going to pop and go up. As far as entry goes, I would wait for us to come down just a little bit and enter the swoop. Bluezell, we got this volume to go through, but I love this. I don't know what happened to my trend lines here on this chart. This must be a different one. Anyways, I had some trend lines drawn here, and I do believe, so we're under that, but I do believe we can get back up that in correlation with what all the other altcoins are showing me. All right, let's touch on Sheba real quick. We got a minute here. Are these buy limits still valid? I don't think so. We're popping above the triangle here. Jasmy, same thing above the triangle. BAT, I bought down here. I couldn't wait for us to come down to 89 cents. So on all these orders, free trade alerts that I placed on TradingView on Saturday, I was not patient enough myself to wait for that. If you want to enter in any of these positions, you wouldn't be wrong to do so. I don't see us coming back down to that entry area. It's just too aggressive at this point. The bulls are starting to run and we're going. All right. So that is my assessment for today. I'm running out of time. I wish you all the best on your trades. Stay safe out there and watch that index stock market.